BC when it's all said and done. So it's big entire cities. So what is this all for? This is all for, what we know of as bitumen, which is the technical term. So it's very much a solid mass. It's not the free-flowing conventional oil that we think of when we think of oil. It's now, what we see here is solid mass, which will then be extracted from about 11 to 18%, which is the technical term bitumen, and the rest will all be left to waste. So what they're doing currently is digging down into one of the last remaining pristine forests to dig up this muck underneath the Earth's core. And what is it all for? To continue to feed our fossil fuel addiction, which is really problematic because we actually see, the dropping prices of more renewable forms of energy production since 1977. Say, for example, solar panels have gone down like and I'll talk a little bit more about this later in the presentation about how our communities are looking at solar production. But as you can see here, we're at the source of the problem and how, we're all really connected in this with the Clipper, the Li-Fi, the KXL, and all the different refineries that we call cancer clusters in the Lower 48. So you can see here is our home territories, which is a huge area. It's 141,000 square kilometers that they're set out to destroy for tar sands extraction. This is equivalent to land mass of that in England and Wales, or for American folks, the entire state of Florida. So it's a really huge area that we're talking about, 23% of the province and our homeland in the Boreal Forest. So I'm from one of the many communities that is experiencing the impacts of the tar sands. This is my grandma who is I'm from a Cree, was born into a Cree community, and that's my dad up there. And he was getting away from the missionary residential schools, and so our family was very much lived on the land. It was a very healthy, pristine environment at one point, and now that's slowly changing with the expansion of the tar sands. So you can see the mines here, they are huge. I mean, this is a flyover, and those dump trucks on the bottom, the yellow ones on the bottom, are three stories high. They're the biggest dump trucks in the world. It's really hard to see the scale right now, but they're quite massive when you see them in person. They can completely just drive over other normal trucks as big as houses. And then, so this is surface mining. So they dig down 100 meters down into the Earth's core to get out the tar sands. You can see them basically scraping out the Earth. And then there's the other types of mining, which is the underground mining of steam plants, also called steam-assisted gravity drainage. And with that, it doesn't look as bad on the surface, but it actually has a larger environmental footprint because it actually needs 4 times as much natural gas to produce the tar sands in this way, and produces more carbon emissions, sometimes uses more water, and it uses toxic chemicals like fracking to give you an understanding of kind of what we're dealing with. This is, as the more and more tar sands projects come online, we already have over 100 of these operations across northern Alberta, and as more and more come online, we'll be increasing more carbon. This is 80% of the labor of the extraction in the future. So you can see what out of the associated costs that we're dealing with is these toxic tailing ponds. And I wouldn't necessarily call them ponds, they're definitely lake-sized toxic sludge, where basically the byproduct is just spewed out into the landscape. Close to, over 180 square kilometers. Every day, millions of toxic sludges go out into the landscape, and it's also leaching into the Tabasco watershed. So you can see up close, this is what it actually looks like is toxicity in cyanide, mercury, polyanic carbonic acid. So there's very carcinogenic. I don't know if you've heard in around 2008 and 9, there was over 1,000 birds that perished that were going down the migratory route, and they basically landed on one of these tailing ponds at Butler Lake. They just all perished. They don't. A lot of wildlife companies, in fact, with this do not survive. And it's a problem because this is a sixth of our Canada's freshwater source, so it's one of the largest intact in the water deltas of these aspects of the delta are the Mackenzie River Basin. So a lot of our communities will be impacted by water because not only is it being drained, but it's also being polluted from the contamination. And it's a very pristine source. You can see this is a pristine picture. It's Athabasca Glacier, which has receded very much throughout the century with climate change. It's even moving up. And You know, another issue that Canada is dealing with is now we are number one in deforestation worldwide. So we've actually surpassed Brazil, which huge amounts of deforestation because of the Amazon rainforest. But in the Boreal, we're actually surpassed them now because of tar sands extraction. So this is, you know, we're basically unleashing one of the largest terrestrial carbon sinks in the world, producing more climate change by trying to get at the tar sands that exist underneath this beautiful forest. A lot of the animals are becoming extinct by 2040. The woodland caribou, which a lot of our people are dependent on, very healthily, we need are going to be locally extirpated, which means local extinction from the various areas in the tar sands because they no longer have their natural habitat to depend upon. A lot of wildlife as well as the lynx and the migratory songbirds are also being impacted because of their habitat being compromised. A lot of our communities are dealing with steam leaks and explosions, like here Total, which is a French company. You can see this taken from the air. It's a huge crater in the land that produced a catastrophic explosion, which is one of those underground minings that I was talking about. So basically we're pushing heat down into the Earth's core, and the casing wasn't able to hold it in. So we all know how air makes to rise, and so it rose and it exploded. And this is close to the Canadian Former Cat. A lot of things that you'll probably also be seeing in the media, which is important to address, is how they talk about the reclamation myth, which will return all of our land back into its former state, which is very untrue. As you can see, here's a before picture I was able to get from a researcher, and this is the after picture. So you can see that it's not a place where communities can fish, hunt, and trap, have cultural camps, or find pick berries and harvest medicines, or animals can even traverse there because it's completely become industrialized. Even if they call it equivalent land use capacity, it's not somewhere where I would like to camp out, that's for sure. A lot of our health concerns too, because of the poisonous noxious gases or HS2s, SO2, SOXs, the sulfur oxides coming out from these plants. So you can see this picture we took is close to my community, which is the Shell post-steam simulation, which is the underground mining, that it releases a lot of sulfur sulfides into the atmosphere, which is very bad for your people's ability to breathe, and it really does a number on your pulmonary disease. So you can see the H2O exceedances that are much higher. That community should not be exposed to, or workers should be exposed to in the tar sands. So a lot of people have health issues, and there's also elevated rates of cancers. And you can see this also in life that are also being impacted by that. There's a hunter when he's found moose in the pack, they've had little meat and tumors in the carcass, and also north of this where you see these exceedances, there's community members that are finding lesions on the fish, tumors, with also deformed spines, which indicates contamination. Another reason why to communities that are along pipeline infrastructure roads is oil spills. It's a very clear and present reality for a lot of our communities. This is an oil spill that was far from where my family lives. And if you want to see more about it, just look at oil and Google online. It's a photo essay we did that shows a lot of these pictures and explains kind of what, they couldn't breathe, their eyes were burning, they were nauseous, they had to close down the school for a week and a half because this is a massive oil spill that was not too far from where my family lives in the Buffalo. It just, really shut down for a number of times. And we still don't know what the long-term impacts will be, which is really problematic, especially to the health, but as well as to the land. So this was taken from me, we were able to get a helicopter. Not a lot of people to see with the massiveness of this was. If you look closer, you can actually see that those little white suits are actually people, and those are hazmat suits people are wearing. And you can see the oil spilling all through the different tributaries and that consumed in the top. You can see deeper downs. We went back 15 months later, and this is what we found, which is a dead zone. And the company had been posting on their website that they had cleaned it all up, that they had remediated the site, and this is what we found, which was applied. There are no bugs and humans or animal footprints. We didn't know if they were drinking the water, but basically we're pulling up, oil-laden sticks. So this is kind of what's the legacy of having the tar sands. And a lot of the community didn't know whether we had no emergency response plan in place. The government who was giving out these permits didn't inform the community. They only informed the community fact sheet to my community saying, by the way, this is one of the biggest oil spills in Alberta's history, FYI. And, didn't say that children should be in the community, pregnant women, elders that may compromise immune systems. When I checked with other local health professionals, they said no, they shouldn't be there. But yet the government was saying to the media that nothing was wrong, everything was fine. So a lot of what we're dealing with is, contaminant contamination, destruction of our territories. This is resulting in a loss of our culture, traditions, and customs, because we're very much a land-based people, and if you see what our landscapes are being replaced by, it makes it very difficult to carry out our way of life and live in a healthy and sustainable way. I don't know if anybody in the room came to any of our annual healing walks, but we did healing walks in the tar sands where we had people from all over North America come and join us and walk with us at one of the sites of destruction and to pray for the land and walk with the people and hear other people's stories about what's happening at Ground Zero. And I'd say, one of the reasons why I think it's so important for American folks to know about what's happening is because a lot of the oil from our homelands come to the States, either through the consumption of it, but also a lot of the American companies like Nuclear Oil, Exxon, Chevron, Husky, Koch Brothers, other major investment blue chips from U.S. investment firms. So what happens in the tar sands is, also very much connected to what happens in the U.S. There's a really great resource. It's called Oil Sands Reality Check, the Tar Sands Reality Check. You can go to the different tabs and look at, the different associated costs with tar sands extraction. And it's all very much sourced. So it's a good source of information if you need to share with people a little bit more information. And also, as I mentioned, about Renewable Farmland, which is a resource that we've made available so people can kind of hear a bit more of what it's like to actually experience as well. And one of the things that we are doing to transition away from this is trying to transition to a solar-based economy. It would be nice to see in the future. We've been doing creative actions like dropping big numbers on oil derricks, that one of the first oil derricks in Alberta's history, talking about how solar is much more better and safer for the environment, and how it should be, part of our diversifying our economy. And one of the things I'll be doing this summer is putting up a solar project in my own community to show young people and really the rest of the community is how we can transition away from fossil fuel extraction and development. Thank you so much for listening.
See us? Can she hear us? Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right.